Still waiting for people to join for now. So I probably should have posted beforehand, but why do it the smart way when I can do it like this? So I'll wait until at least a few more people see the Fedi post and then start. Since I don't want to start right away, since there's some context there to be explained. Oh, hi Julia. Okay, I can also see the chat from there. Streams on YouTube seem a bit weird, like you have to... It's very much not obvious how to get a link from the YouTube Studio page. And so far the only way I've been able to do it is by copying the URL and removing Studio from it. I guess I can start. Oh. One or whatever. So in this time I want to try to port the Gearsystem emulator to my Highscore rewrite, because I've been working on rewriting this app it's basically front end for game emulators, and it's been using an API called libretto, which I'm trying to move away for quite a lot of reasons really. So I recently started to basically completely rewrite it. So I have my own interface defined in a tiny library called libhighscore, which is a very imaginative name, I know. So like it just defines the interfaces and nothing else. It's all object, and it's kind of nicer to work with than libretto. I currently have ported 2 cores, MGBA for like Game Boy Advance and actually Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games, and Nestopia for NES/Famicom and Famicom Disk System games. So now I want to try to port Gearsystem. It should be fairly easy. That core generally has a nice code base, and it has a lot of ports already in tree, like libretto is right here. So I should be able to do this port upstream as well, because in comparison, it's same thing in MGB, like C platform, everything is here, like OpenDemo is here as well. But meanwhile, Nestopia, the original Nestopia upstream completely died, so it's now maintained by Jolly Good Project with a bit of a strange name. So they have no ports in tree aside from their own, and this one is going to be downstream. Like there's nowhere to upstream it. Same thing with like libretto and OpenDemo, they both have separate ports, and there's still one on GitHub, but it's just like FLTK UI, so it's not super interesting. For Gearsystem it should be fine. Another like quirk is that the cross-platform portion of the emulator, like the core itself, it has no build system. Like there's source code, but like there's nothing, there's no build system. Instead, each port has its own build system, like libretto has their usual messy make files. This one, well, the shared desktop UI also has a makefile, though less messy than the libretto one. iOS one obviously does like the Xcode thing and so on. So on one hand, it's not very good because I will have to duplicate work. On the other hand, it means that I can use a build system that I actually understand instead of like something like CMake or Makefiles, because MGBA uses CMake. It's not the worst thing I've used, but definitely not very pleasant. Meanwhile, Nestopia, the original one used AutoTools, which is a nightmare. Meanwhile, the Jolly Good fork, it just used Makefile, which I was able to kind of do it. It's hacky, it's awful, because I needed Gearsystem. Nestopia has a database of games to determine like, is it an NTSC or PAL game, which does it need some peripherals and so on. So I need JSOurce to bundle it, and it wasn't very fun. And I never figured out how to install it. So instead, I just install from my Flatpak manifest. Where is it? Like here. So yeah. So let's start. So first I'll make a new directory and initialize Mizzen, because I'm going to use Mizzen. This file I'll rename later. So for now I need to include all of this. Actually, not in that. I'll just get the list of source files right away, and now I can just go ahead and reuse it. Also, I need to have chat somewhere. CMake is not AutoTools, but it has a bit nicer syntax, but it's just as arcane. Like you have like MGBA, where is it? CMake list. Like look at this. For example, there's no one single way to find dependencies. Wait, where's cheap? Huh? Okay, so for example, for package config, we have this package config module, and we check modules, which sets some random variables, which we define prefix for the variables here, and then we use them like gobject include dirs, libhighscore include dirs, gobject ld flags. I did not define any of this. It was defined by the package check modules function. And meanwhile, like, where is it? File dependencies. Dependence. I don't even want to know what that is. I forgot where I was. There was some other way to find dependencies, which I was actually, like, I had it on screen, but I can't find again. But yeah, here we go. Find package. Why doesn't it work for package config? I don't know. And things like that are everywhere. And like WebKit is another bad example. Like its arcane files are just its CMake files just incredibly arcane. It has tons of separate like find library name files, like find glib, etc., which are super long, and I don't understand how any of that works. At one point I tried to add libadweite to local WebKit checkout to test something. I think it was the menu you get from combo boxes and web pages. I just gave up because I couldn't figure out how to make it work. So yeah, okay. Now that we have audio, buffer, sync. And mini Z, I have no idea what it is. Maybe something for Zilip or yeah, looks like archive handling. Okay, and now I need. So it's all relative because I'm in a different directory, not in SSE. Okay, so now I have a list of sources, and I can prepare my sources above. Which I will name this file later, but for now I'm just getting something to work. So let's try it out. What? Does it need C as well? Or something? Semi-clap definitions and packaging. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I admit I don't completely understand CMake. Huh? But there we go, at least. What? Multiple definitions of everything in mini Z. How did it even happen? Let's check what libretto does. Do they use this mini Z file? They just don't include it. Alright. I suspect we don't really need it anyway. It's probably only there for like opening ROMs from zip files or something, which is a common feature, but yeah, it works now. Let's recheck that it's not like it doesn't require running build twice, because things like that do happen. Yeah, it works nice. And it's super fast now because of Ccache. Alright, so next I need to like bootstrap the actual port. So I'll use one of the other ports as a reference. I think I'll use it. I'll use dystopia. So I need a descriptor file, header, and implementation. Descriptor is just bunch of information about the core, like its name and so on. Its name is Gearsystem. The file we called Gearsystem dash Highscore. So the copyright will be something different. I'll need to copy it from the readme file. And there isn't any, which is great, because I need this copyright line because I'll be showing it in the how it's called, in about window 2013. I guess I'll just use that for now. Alright, and I didn't say what Gearsystem even was. It's an emulator for Sega Game Gear fuck, I was indeed muted, and I also forgot to check the chat. The question is how long I was muted, but yeah. So I didn't explain at the beginning what Gearsystem was. So it's an emulator for Sega Game Gear and Master System, and also for SG-1000, which we've been using in Highscore. So I think I mentioned halfway. So I was writing a descriptor file which we'll use for identifying the core, like when to find the core of the app, just list these descriptor files and then finds the actual libraries through it. And the other file I was checking was the descriptor file, which is, I think, specific to Highscore / gnome-games, which Adrian introduced because we needed it to list the file types. Which I'm not sure how to pronounce this, so I'll just say file types. Well, this only lists extensions, which is not really useful because, well, first of all, it's not super reliable because it's also possible to detect file types through magic numbers in the files themselves. And for most of the formats, we do have them in like shed, mimi, mimi, I have no idea, in this shared database for that. And also because the libretter wants to specify these things. We don't need to open like random bin files, etc. Almost every core will do it, and it'll be a nightmare to like figure out which one to use. So instead we just use file types, and yeah. So yeah, I finished writing this descriptor. And next I need to name it. And next I need the header file. Also, I hope that this squeaky chair is not audible. Not much I can do about it. I'll just find the place. Of course I made a typo. That always happens. And the actual file, which I guess it's just easier to start fresh from, and just copy paste from there as needed. So similarly, I'll rename it. Then I need to define the object. I don't completely remember the GObject boilerplate, so I will be copy pasting from the previous one a lot. And in that one I was also copy pasting from the previous one. And so for now I don't have any interfaces. This interface I used for platform specific API. Like for example, for FDS I have API for handling floppy sites and also BIOS. Because FDS games come on disks as in floppies, and in a lot of games, in most games really, at some point you will need to flip it. So we need a way to flip floppies. Most emulators for some reason just map that to one of the controller buttons. I'm not sure why, because it's, in my opinion, like completely undiscoverable. but that's just the thing they do. And I really want to avoid that in this port. So now I need init and class init functions. Hi, Yelter. Yeah, so next I need the init functions. Wow, apparently I have master memory for typing gestures. I'll just keep them empty for now. Next I need a function to actually find the class. I have this entry point function HS as a Highscore get core type, which returns a G type, and then the app will instantiate the object of this type. So I just mentioned Gearsystem type core here. So this is technically ready to go. It won't work. It will absolutely crash because I have a search for unimplemented functions for almost everything like this. But this is enough for the app to find it. So now I need to tweak the system to produce a library, shared library, instead of an executable. So it will be called Gearsystem Highscore. Gearsystem. Yeah, I mean, the name Gearsystem is like portmanteau of Game Gear and Master System. So initially we were using an emulator called Pico Drive, which also handled Genesis and Sega Pico. But using it, say a problem with a lot of Genesis emulators is that for some reason they have non-commercial clauses, which means we can't redistribute them. So the only way we can use them is through an extension, like you do with codecs in a video player on FlatHub, and that's not great. I didn't want something we can properly distribute, and so we replaced the 8-bit Sega portion with Gearsystem and Genesis portion with another emulator called Blastem. Unfortunately, that one doesn't work with Sega 32X and Sega CD, which is a shame because we lose a few platforms. Even if they weren't super popular, there are some unique games available there, like Sonic CD. But we still can't use Gearsystem, so it's a problem. And another prominent emulator, Genesis Plus GX, it's also non-commercial, so yeah. I'm not sure why that is, but specifically Sega is always a problem with this. So okay, the next thing, dependency. The error was because lib Highscore is missing, which is not really a surprise, because we actually need it, and we also need GObject. So let's define them. We'll probably also need math. Actually, it's weird. How did it even build without the math header? There's no way it's not using math. Though maybe C++ has something different for that. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, I know it's just Highscore, and I think I had I had the API version 1. Actually, why am I doing this when I can just go ahead and copy it from here? Yeah. We'll need GIL. Well, in practice we'll probably just need GObject, but I may eventually use stuff like gfile in the API, so yeah. dependencies, Gearsystem, depths. And install tool. We also need to change the install here because these cores go to a special directory, which would be project, which would be the Highscore course in here. Here, Highscore course. Install dir. And we also need to install the descriptor file into the same directory. I don't remember how to do it in Mizzen, so I'll look it up. I think it was like install file. Actually, let's just put it on camera. It was install data. Gearsystem on Highscore. Install dir is the same one as before. And install tool. So, and since we depend on lib Highscore now, I can't build it on host anymore, so I'll have to add it into the Highscore Flatpak manifest. I'll add it at the end so I don't have. Will build a crash? Yes, it will. Alright, let's restart it. And I opened another project too. Yeah, it does crash very often. It's not too terrible, like I have the crash in language servers disabled, but it does still happen every now and then. So, oh well. So once again, I'll copy libmanet. Actually, no, I'll copy lib Highscore. Though it was necessary, it's just because build system isn't so. I saved it myself, typing one line. It's called Gearsystem. There, and I'll use dir type so that I can rebuild it without committing changes every time, except it's not found because it was Gearsystem with capital G, and I forgot. Can't find missing dot. There was a way to subdirectory. Thought I'd do, I guess. I thought I'd manifest. It's either subdir or subdirectory or something like that. Yeah, it's subdir. Hi, Sony. Is it platforms? It is platforms. So let's try again. What? Okay, I see how I muted it that time. Keyboard moment, because editing in MC is F4 and muting is FN4, and I frequently switch between FN lock and back. So at some point I presumably just hit F4 by accident and missed it. Good. That's not my problem. Oh, that's not my code, so I don't care about those warnings. This one I do care about. What? God. There's a... What does it mean? Oh, yeah, I typed Gearsystem Highscore for Gearsystem core. Figures because it was like one line I didn't copy and just typed manually, and I made a mistake there. Yeah, now it built. Okay, let's see if it's detected. Yeah, it is. So the copyright line is here, license is here, it's all there. So the core is installed properly. This was by far the easiest one of the three to like get to build and install. Just probably not surprised given I used Nism, but yeah. And here it is, yeah. Both Gearsystem and the lib Gearsystem Highscore, and I specified just Gearsystem Highscore, which is not a deal breaker, but I need it too much here. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay. So now I need to. Actually, no. Now I need to add the platforms it supports. I have a num for platforms here, and I need to add the new systems here. So I need this platform in here, this platform master system, and I put to no place and SG1000. I'm not specifying Sega in any of them because, amazingly enough, none of them had Sega in the official name. It was just like SG1000. And I have a few methods here for base platforms. This one's basically for expansions, like Famicom. The system is an expansion for NES, for Famicom, but it's the same platform. So here I return the NES, which I use, for example, for mapping controls, because they have the same exact controls, and it allows me to cut back on the code a little bit. And none of these ones are extensions of anything, so so I'll just list them at the end. And of course I need to change the precondition. And same thing in the other function. This one just returns identifiers, which currently I use them for save states, like the names of save states. They are not based on the cartridge name, ROM name. Instead, they are based on the file checksums. Well, data, high school, 6. Actually, yeah. So they are based on file checksums. Checksums. This allows to like rename ROMs without losing save states, but they also have the platforms, mostly just like as an identifier. So like Game Boy ones. Well, this one's Super Game Boy, but yeah. Like Game Boy games you have with Game Boy prefix, Game Boy Advance has Game Boy Advance, and so on. And this I try to keep in sync with stable Highscore, because one of the goals I have is at least as much save state compatibility as I can get. I doubt I can make it perfect, and I mean I definitely can't because I changed the emulator for Game Boy. It was using Gambit and now it's using MGBA. But here I can, so I'll just reuse the same ones. So it's Game Gear and not like GG or something. Yes. Meanwhile, like FDS is an acronym in this one sound. So whatever. It already wasn't consistent. Can't make it worse. Master system is also not an acronym. It could be SMS, like to avoid the problematic word, for example, but it's not. I'm making a lot of typos. And SG1000 is it's just that, yeah. Okay. Later I'll also need an interface for a specific platform, but for now I don't need one. That can come later. Now I'll commit this because, no, actually I'll check if it builds first. It does. Except builder crashed. Oh, no. It froze like it was going to crash, but it didn't. So I'll commit it. This I need because I have everything except Gearsystem specified as Git type sources, so that it doesn't have to rebuild each one of them every time I hit rebuild. So instead I hit update dependencies, now it will rebuild with Highscore, but also MGPA and Estopia. They don't take that long to build, so it's not a problem. But yeah, that's why I keep them as Git type sources, even though it requires me to commit every time that like I change something. While I was building, I can hook up the file type detection. This is kind of crude because, you know, it's basically a demo of this API. Like the proper app has quite a bit more elaborate system, but so be it. So first I need to check what the file types actually are. I prepared a few games for this, and how do I look up it? Gyro info. Yeah, here we go. Also, this isn't sorted because I was just adding it in the order I was implementing things. So it's Game Boy Color. I know Game Boy Advance should be before Game Boy Color, but it just makes more sense like this. It's not strictly alphabetic. No, I guess it's whatever. What's the system SG1000? So now I need to check file types of the other one, of the other two. This one is XSMS ROM, like, yeah, like this one is Game Gear but without a dash, and this one SMS. There's no consistency in these types whatsoever. So I have to look up every time, can't assume what they will be. And this one is SG1000, but again without a dash. Meanwhile, like Game Boy Color has 1 dash out of 2 and GPA is an acronym. It's a mess. So okay. Now it should be able to find the game and I should be able to like instantiate the core and stuff. It won't work, it will immediately crash because almost every method is unimplemented, but yeah. Actually, no. Window open. Alright. Specifying the core is currently also manual for the same reason. Because this is just prototype. So I also need to copy the same platforms here. Now it should be able to start. There we go. It didn't even crash, surprisingly enough. Use invalid file. Alright, because it's not here. Things are going very well. But I kinda didn't expect much. It was just... I didn't really plan this stream, it was just like I have nothing to do, so might as well. Yeah, now it fails as expected. I'm missing the start function, which is quite obviously missing because I didn't implement it. So now I need to like actually start implementing things. I'll define a finalize function because I'll 100% need it. So might as well. Gearsystem and yeah, and here Gearsystem as well. For MGBA, I'm also tracking the current object instance and only allow one. Like I unset it. Here I set it. And I needed that because some of the callbacks here didn't have any way to distinguish between objects. Specifically this one. This one I need for Game Boy audio because Game Boy is weird, it sends basically the wrong amount of samples per frame. So like you have to do trickery. And if you don't, the audio will be like it will be cracking because every once in a while it will be missing a few samples. But this function has no way to reference my object, like no user data or anything. So instead I have to rely on like having one object at a time, which to be fair it allowed me to catch a few leaks because there were a few reference leaks in the demo, and which meant that if I close one game and open another one, I create a second object because the first one, it should have been finalized, but it wasn't. And it crashed. So yeah, it allowed me to find quite a few leaks like this. But yeah. So now let's start implementing it. First we have these three functions. They go here. And of course, MGPA, we replace the Gearsystem. The start function is a combined function for loading the ROM and initializing video and audio. I initially had it called load ROM, but then I realized that in both of the ports I do way more there than just loading it. Like in in Desktopia, I'm also loading the database of games, loading FTS BIOS, then loading the game, initializing the input devices, and video and audio. So it's just stuck now. It has score, it has home path. Oh, and also setting the save directory. Let's leave Highscore. There it is. So we have home path, certification, and the way to report errors. For now, I'm not putting anything here. I will need to look up how to actually do it. So for now, I just define prototypes for everything. And add messages for what's not implemented. The reset function is quite simple. It just resets the core. I'm not sure I'll actually need it because in the final app, like in stable Highscore, reset won't be just asking the core to reset itself. Instead, we'll be finalizing the current core and starting a new one. Because it's just cleaner. It's slower, but we guarantee that we definitely finalize everything this way. And we need a run frame callback. This one is just called every frame. It will run whatever it's needed. And typically it will also handle audio, except aside from special cases like Game Boy audio. I also need methods for saving states, saving loading states. Save state, I think it also has, yeah, it has button L. And kind of ironically, in basically every, well, in both of the reports, errors are not properly reported. I just print critical and call it a day because I don't remember how to do it with GR. It's one of the things I have to look up basically every time, and I was too lazy to do that. But we have save state, load state. Then we have the video-related calls and one audio-related calls. We need to specify a frame rate because each platform has a different one, and in some cases the why am I pasting there? In some cases, different even within the platform. Like any TV-based console, like not a portable one, it will have Gearsystem, I guess. It will have different frame rates for NTSC and PAL because PAL runs at 50 Hz and NTSC at 60. Or rather, not 60, it's 59, and it's like a weird number. But yeah, so we have to specify the frame rate individually for each core. And same goes for aspect ratio, because in a lot of cases the pixels are not square and you have to specify it all manually. So get frame rate is double. Actually, let's just copy paste it too. Gearsystem. It's temporary. There will be something better later. Aspect ratios, same thing. We'll just take on the 1 for now, which is almost definitely wrong, but this is all boilerplate. Also, I forgot to rename this. System gets screen rect. The screen rectangle is an idea from OpenEMU. Libretto didn't do it, instead it reinitialized the frame buffer every time the game dimensions changed. This one instead allows, it just has a constant size frame buffer and allows games to specify a rectangle within that, which is pretty nice in general because it also allows to handle things like overscan without having specialized API for that, or doing trickery like right inside the core. So that's pretty nice. And add and false. If it returns false, it means that screen rect is not used and it uses the whole buffer. And sample rate, I'll return sub here. Correct and gets applied. And finally, I need methods for pressing buttons. Buttons are currently a shared API. I want to eventually make them per platform, but I made them shared because it's basically like every single core needs them. Every core has a different set of buttons. Well, every platform, not every core, but they all have a button press method, so I made it shared. But I might make it per platform because currently it uses this hack. Even though I have specific enums for each platform, I just specify an int here and abuse the fact that C enums are basically glorified int constants. So there's no type safety, nothing, but it works for now. Okay, now everything has been wrong one. Also wrong one. This. Now everything has been properly started. So now, what? Okay. So now the core should actually run. Well, if it builds, which it doesn't. And it doesn't because your system core start doesn't exist. Yeah, it doesn't exist because of these semicolon. It's one of those words which I don't know how it's pronounced. G warning was not declared in the scope. How come? Wait, what? It's just cheat.h, isn't it? All of the unused parameters, I'll just pass some parameter signs in this because these are basically unavoidable with GObject. I can just mark unused ones, but at that point it's just silly. Yeah, because I forgot. It's not missing include, I just forgot the parentheses in only two of them actually. servers left. Where are they? Yeah, why does... Oh, right. Right. And the wrong thing is that start returns Djibouti, which... And so do the save statements. The idea is that they return false if they throw an error, so they simplify error handling. Currently I return true because I don't want to hit the error code paths. So I'm actually not sure what's system core. Right. It's load state, it's not run load state. And I indeed typed Gearsystem in a bunch of places. I can already tell this is going to be a running theme of this specific port. System. I think there's one more, but no, it compiled. Okay. I'll need to do something about those warnings at some point. But for now, it runs. Yep. So a bunch of warnings, also a few criticals because currently the front end allocates the video buffer. I want to rework that. I don't like this bit, but I wanted to not to repeat the libretto mistake, where in libretto cores by default allocate the frame buffer themselves and they are allowed to change it on every frame, which means that the only safe way to work with it is to copy it immediately, which means that any pipeline will have at least one copy in there with no way to avoid that. Well, there is a way to avoid that. There is an interface for like having the front end allocate the buffer, but almost no core uses it, so effectively there is there. Alright, so now let's look through the libretto port to get an idea of how this core is structured in general. Okay, so there's one big include for everything. This one. So that's pretty nice. Let's include it as well. Okay, Gearsystem. So what do we have here? So first we probably need to init it. And we can specify the pixel format now, which is nice. Okay. So we'll have core, which will init. I think I might need a pointer here instead of reference, but we'll see. C++ references often confuse me, and in particular when porting Desktopia I had a pretty nasty bug. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm sorry. Though I probably will be swearing here. It's coding stream, so you know. Yeah, I forgot SRC. But yeah, so far this has actually been pretty smooth. Yeah, oh, right. Yeah, I think I'll just go with the pointer and do then it's about you. Yeah, you can tell I'm not often writing C++. So I don't remember very well how to work with its objects. Is it not Gearsystem? Is it Gearsystem core or something? Yes, it is Gearsystem core. Okay, so I did indeed need new. And init, yeah, and but it does have number init. Why does it say it doesn't? Like it's right here. Okay, let's look up this trivial thing in libretto port, because yeah, they do have core, they do also have pointer, and they do init just as well, except they specify a parameter, but there is a default one, so I shouldn't have to. Okay, let's specify it manually. No, it doesn't work. Using type. What? What does that mean? Isn't type defining Gearsystem core of the class? Maybe I should have specified something. Performance pattern. No, they just use Gearsystem core right here, and it's not a problem. Actually, looks like it was done by Epstein, so that's pretty nice. I'll probably just use this one as a reference then. But yeah, how do you see what I'm doing wrong here? Oh wait, yeah, it does have new. This happens every time I write C++. For other reasons, every time I have some obscure errors. And I don't know how to debug them, but I guess it's something to do with built-in. So maybe I need to specify them in specific order. I hope not, but it's not impossible. Also, they specify this file at the top. Maybe that will help. No, it doesn't. Libretto make files always support a million platforms, and they're really hard to read. because of that. It's not impossible that I need some build flag somewhere. This is ARM stuff, Switch, GameCube, PS, US 10, iOS TVOS. I didn't even know there was a RetroArch TVOS port, but apparently there is QNX script. Oh my god. Wait, DLL, this is Windows apparently. Oh, okay, Unix was right here. So this shouldn't matter. Like, it really shouldn't, but I guess we can try. No, this here should matter. Having this one would be nice though, because we definitely don't need the assembler. So this is C flags and C++ flags. How did that work? Ah, okay. I'm actually not sure if Mizun calls them CPP args or CXX args, because that seems a bit interchangeable. C args. Also, when did I start the stream? Just in case that I don't go on forever, because I can lose track of time. Okay, over an hour. I think I'll stop at 2 hours. So, like 50 minutes from now. I don't expect to completely finish the sport on this stream, because it's just more work than I can do in 2 hours, but hopefully I can at least get it to build. Yeah, it's CVP, not XX. And I don't expect it to fix this specific error. It's just nice to have. And it doesn't. So, I guess let's look this up, because I have no clue what this means. Use type def name after class. But where is it allowed more than defined more than once? Like if I look at it, yeah, no, there are no type defs in here. So it should be fine, unless maybe the file Gearsystem core is included multiple times, which it evidently isn't. It's only there once. So I'm not sure what's going on. No, now I'm seeing platforms. Yeah, and this makefile doesn't use any special orders, so it's definitely not ordering. It's something else. Well, I didn't expect that that this adventure will end on a C++ error that I don't understand. But yeah, for it is not looking great. Which I'll probably figure out at some point. Not right now. I have no idea what's wrong here. And also why it worked before I included this file. Wait, no. Wait, did it work? If I don't code anything, if I just have the include but I don't do anything with Gearsystem core at all, it doesn't build anyway. And it doesn't build with this exact error. Gearsystem core.h using type def name Gearsystem after class. Which is nonsense. Like, maybe I need to define Gearsystem core here or something. Even though I really shouldn't be, because other ports aren't doing it and they work fine. So it is possible to make it work. So this is include. If I remove the include, it will build, I suppose. Yeah, it does build. But as soon as I include the Gearsystem shared header file, it breaks. This doesn't make any sense to me. So I guess let's try to and rearrange them. Maybe it's already include. I mean, include where? And I mean, the file does have include guards, so like it should work. So the header can be only include once with this, and like I'm including it once here, Gearsystem.h. Gearsystem.h just includes all of these files as needed. Gearsystem core does go first in here, and the definitions, yeah, definitions doesn't include. So in theory, it's already first. But let's put this one first as well, just in case it fixes something. And I keep forgetting that I need to hit rebuild when I do changes. Yeah, it failed, and presumably with the same error. Yeah, it's the same. Another option is maybe it's a thing with new C++ or something, and I need an older one. Which presumably shouldn't happen, but they use C++11 and maybe I just need to use it too. It would be really funny if it doesn't work now. Wait, no it doesn't, okay. Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, like this doesn't look particularly complicated, so I'm sure there isn't anything like in the make files that's missing. Well, nah, that still should be better. Though it's... Can it be that I need to specify include directories instead of just this? Let's try that. Um, and I never remember if it's relative path or absolute path from the repository tree, source tree. So I guess we'll find out if it does work, except I forgot to actually specify it. Like this. Mm-hmm. Is it the same error? It is the same error. Unless... What? What is this? Okay, what happens if I just specify src? Yeah, no. And I guess now I can do just this. Yeah. So that didn't work either. So let's keep looking up because I didn't type def name after class. Oh! Alright. It's happening because I used Gearsystem core for my geometry class. Meanwhile, the actual Gearsystem also has class called Gearsystem core, except now this time it's a C++ class. Okay, so it's name clash. So I'll have to name mine something else. Well, I can do this. Highscore. Yeah, that was this is the first so far, and I wonder if I should do this rename in other classes as well, because in other ports as well, because this will probably come up later. Chess. Oh, actually, let's just go ahead and define the replace. Core, system, chess, core. And unfortunately, naming it like that is annoying because of align parameters. System HS core, system type HS core class, Gearsystem HS core, and here. And I also need to replace it in the header. Yeah, now it works. Oh my god. So now I can finally uncomment everything. What? Ah, right. And it should work. Yeah. I spent a lot longer on this error than I should have. Okay. So we need it, then I guess I should delete it right away. Then we have load ROM. And force configuration. What is force configuration? Maybe it's casing. It is. Force configuration. So I don't really care about that, and I'll just omit it. And Gearsystem core doesn't report anything, does it? Yeah, if never happens, it just returns false, which is not great, but it's something. Once again, I'm not adding a proper error reporting. I'll do it sometime off camera because I don't remember that and I'm not going to look it up now. And I guess let's just go ahead and use the libretto port as reference here because it's upstream anyway. So they get this directory, which I'm not sure what they actually need for. They initialize core. They do frame buffer. Meanwhile, just version max width and max height. They are coming from the from somewhere in the core, so I can just use these constants. So for video buffer, I have this function, Highscore request frame buffer. Where I pass the width, the height, the roast height / pitch, which will be that probably times 4, and the pixel format, which right now it looks like it will be just regular this. And I need to delete it. So for that I'll need yet another virtual function, stop. Hello. Call stop. Just call. And we get rid of that frame buffer. Video buffer, and we delete with g3 function. So now we have a video buffer. Then get types glasses config is, I guess, for that one peripheral, which at one point Stack did a ugly glasses which used active shutters, and the game was basically alternately showing the perspective for the left and right eye, which is not super pleasant to look at. At some point we'll probably need this exposed as an API, because we'll need anaglyph support anyway, like at the very least for Virtual Boy. But for now I guess I'm going to ignore it. Rather, I can check where else it's used. Yeah, it has an option, glasses config, but I guess by default it's already used in both sides, so whatever. It doesn't, what is saved? I guess I should use that. Then we have this later. Oh, okay, looks like I correctly guessed the sample rate, and the frame rate it's just using. Interesting. It's using 60 FPS and not like 59 point something. But I guess close enough. Though like the aspect ratio here is definitely not correct. But let's see these functions. So this one I can just keep as is. Screen rect. Now runtime. What type is runtime? What type are these? These are in definitions. These are just ints, so that's simple. And so I return rectangle, hs rectangle int rect 0, and I won't even do variables here. Actually no, I will do variables, I'll just shorten them so that the next line is nice and short. Width and height. And since I now have the rectangle, I'll return true. Then aspect ratio, I probably can just copy it from Nestopia because I mean it's gonna be TV. Well, except for Game Gear, which makes me wonder how exactly the libretto port is handling that. Editor. The editor is mcedit. It's part of this file manager, which I'm using for historical reasons. Also because Nautilus is missing a few features I need, like for example this one type ahead. So I can navigate very quickly in here, but I can't do that in Nautilus, so I'm using this one. And I mean, it's just nice for things like development, because I have an editor here, I have terminal here, it's very comfortable. And unlike other terminal editors like V or Emacs, this one is, in my opinion, a lot more usable than either of those. I don't need to remember with combinations. It's all there, it has a menu bar. So if I don't remember something, I can look it up right here. And all the shortcuts are here and the bottom too, so, yeah. So, okay. For now, let's just do what libretto does for frame rate. I'm not positive that's correct, but I guess we'll find out. It's gonna be exciting to find out that the game is running too slow or too quickly. I'm also not sure how it determines if a game is for NTSC or PAL, because for example Nestopia has to ship a whole database for that, and I've not seen any database in here. So we have frame rate. Aspect ratio is, I'm not copying that for now, because this one is obviously wrong, it's set elsewhere. Unless this aspect ratio just means use pixel dimensions, which will still be wrong because it's for TV at the very least you need different aspect ratios for this and PAL. But anyway, yeah. Set environment, this I don't care about. None of this I care. None of this I care about. It supports BIOS, which I don't really care about because it still works without it. Input I'll implement later. I usually implement input last because I can see if the game boots with working video and audio but broken input, but I can't do it the other way around. So it's easier this way. Variables I don't care about because, Highscore is not about options. And where to run, this one I do care about. This one is what I call run frame. So here we go, run to be blank. And right away it returns the audio buffer. Except Video CB is, I guess it's a libretto thing. Yeah, it is. Okay. So we just run core and do samples. What I'm not positive is how large the audio buffer is because I didn't see it being allocated anywhere. It probably is, but I missed it. So let's run frame core, except it's self-core in our case. And of course, if I'm using self-core in all of this, I need to cast the core object. System HS core self is Gearsystem HS core. And I'll need it in all of these. In here and here, and also here. So run to be blank. The frame buffer is self video buffer, which I'll probably need to cast to some other type instead of int16, but well. And yeah, audio buffer and audio sample count. Where do these come from? Well, yeah, for now let's this configure. Wait, what? How is this load ROM is different from... Oh, right. That's because I didn't... that's because I didn't look that one up. Yeah, this one is the same. Then set pixel type, which I don't really care about at all because we support default one. Oh, I guess this one uses less memory. And achievements, I absolutely don't care about. Get region, don't care about. Serialize size. This I will implement later. And that's it. This is quite short actually, because I'm not seeing, for example, how it implements Game Gear support. Like, I'm just not seeing it. So for aspect ratio, I guess then I'm just fetching these for now and returning width divided by height. It really feels weird, it shouldn't be like that, but I guess. And now audio. Oh, okay. That works. Also, I have no idea what S16 is, but I'll go with that. S16 it's just in 16T. Why did they need a custom one? I don't know. Like, it's probably not glib and it doesn't need to support versions without those types, but yeah. Okay. Actually, audio sample count we don't even need here. Like, can just... Where is it? Run frame, just defined here. And audio samples. Also self audio buffer. Honestly, can't even define this here. No need to keep it global. Audio buffer. And then I need to like give that audio to the front end. I just call play samples, core, audio buffer. And audio samples. Alright. So let's test. Hopefully it works. Except of course I'm building a wrong project, because apparently that's how it's going to be the whole stream today. I actually need to just move this one to another workspace. What? Okay, 5 errors. Not too bad. I see typo and yeah, fair enough. And where did I type? Yeah, VOD, it wasn't here. And also I forgot to like actually specify the function here. Core class, stop, is Gearsystem, HS core, stop. And 3 more errors. What? I have no idea what flag enables warning for that, but that's completely unnecessary. It's pointer is basically a type def for void asterisks, like this one. So it can be anything, and yet it complains. So then load ROM is actually written like this. And audio buffer is a local variable, so I need to remove self. So let's try again. Actually, okay, let's... Actually, you know what, let's just keep it as a pointer. It's not a big deal. We'll need to cast anyway, so might as well do it in round frame. Actually, maybe it just will work as is. Yeah, no. And it built. Now I'm absolutely expecting to crash. And optional burn, but we'll see. Well, audio works. The video doesn't work, it's using the wrong format. I'm actually not sure why. Maybe... Oh, how nice. Well, I guess time to use GTB. First I need to override shell, because I'm using fish as my login shell. So GTB won't work with it, so I need to use something like bin shell. Then GTB and the app. Okay. Highscore core finalized at line 20. Wait, what? Oh, I think I know which one it is. No, wait, what? So it doesn't like this save delete. So I called something called save delete and crashed with double free. And finalized it, which is only called once. Well, okay, let's comment it out for now, which is almost definitely wrong, but we'll see. Oh wait, no. It's still running the same one because I didn't call rebuild. I like how the YouTube stream page is showing different number of concurrent viewers. It's saying 1 at the bottom and 2 at the top. So that's YouTube, I guess. Still double free. I'm not doing anything to finalize this point, so there really shouldn't be double free. Countenance hard indeed, yeah. But like, no, it also says chat rate 0, which I have no idea what that even means. So let's try Trant in GGB again, because something weird is going on. Though I guess nothing can be as weird as that name clash, which I took like half an hour to debug. Finalize line core line 20, which is what? No way. Oh, right. I must not do this because it's allocated by the frontend and it's owned by the frontend too. Yeah. So the finalize was a red herring. So the crash should be fixed now, and now I only need to figure out why the video is broken. Well, I know why. It's using either the wrong video format or the wrong stride. It's one of the two. Weird. What will happen if I load another platform? Oh hey, it works. Well, the video is broken still, but like... Oh. Wait, what? So I guess that, like, really noisy Sega was supposed to be like that. I'm actually not sure, because it really seemed like I'm using the wrong template or something, but apparently it's fine, it's fine. I'm too used to the one from Genesis, which was much clearer. Oh, and I also need a set. Well, can do it later. Yeah, so stop. I'm removing it entirely. I don't need it. Also, I need to report the error here so that I can properly display it in like the app UI. Even though the error will have to be something non specific like this because core doesn't give me anything better. So the pixel format. Let's see what other pixel formats Gearsystem can use, because there probably are some. It was in definitions, I think. No, not definitions. Gearsystem core, GS color format. It's probably in the video. Okay. Oh my god, that one use slashes, underscores. It is definitions. Here we go. BGR 888. It's RGB, not RGBA. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm actually not sure how to call it. The current names come from RetroGTK. I just basically copied that, which I probably don't have to, but so be it. Shared retro pixel format. Okay, RGB 888. So I guess I can just pick one of these. RGB 565. Then it's smaller too, because this one is just 2 bytes. Yeah, it's just 2 bytes per pixel. So that's pretty nice. So let's add that pixel format. I'll need it in here. RGB 565. Well, no, the question is first whether GTK supports it. Because if GTK doesn't, then I'm not using it. Retro GTK does upload textures itself. It doesn't even try to, like, how's it called? It doesn't even try to use GTK texture. Partially because GTK texture didn't even exist when it was implemented. But it does exist now and I'm using it. So I want to try something that I can just, so that I can just let GTK do the work. It's working GTK nums. What? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it doesn't have anything for like 565 ones. So I think I'll go with just RGB8. So it's 3 bytes per pixel. Just because I don't want to write conversions. RGB888, 3. Actually, why not just use this one here too? And now I need to, well, first of all, I need to commit this change because once again I'm using git source type, so it has to be committed. Pixel format at RGB. And let's check if it builds. It does build, great. And no, not this one. No, not in this one. Here I need to like actually handle this. Pixel type. If it's RGB888, then I use R8, G8, B8. Right, then I need to update dependencies because, you know, lib Highscore changed and builder won't rebuild it on its own. So let's try it again. Hopefully the video won't be a broken mess now. Next I need to fix input. For input, I'll need new enums for controls for each platform because I'm keeping this separate. Unlike Libretto, in Libretto, controls are handled by a single retro-path controller. Like, it's just an abstraction of a controller, like Xbox style one, or rather Xbox style, but with A, B, X, Y buttons in Nintendo sorter, like A and X on the right, and B and Y on the left. But otherwise it's basically Xbox style. So it's, I guess it's just like 8-bit controller style. But the important part is that, hi Jaden, the important part is that they try to fit each platform's buttons into that, which works really, because mine works fine, though mine is wired. It's a USB one, not Bluetooth one. The previous one worked fine. It basically the battery died and it wasn't possible to open. Plus I wanted to replace it anyway because it was a bit too crampy. so I got a wired one. But yeah, I like 8-bit works fine for me. But either way, like the libretto thing, it works fine for platforms like SNES or PlayStation or NES, where the controllers themselves are already a subset of that kind of controller. But something like Nintendo 64 or Virtual Boy or Jaguar, Atari Jaguar, it's a disaster because those controllers don't map cleanly onto this abstraction at all, and they have to invent something. Even Genesis, with its 3-phase buttons and later 6, it just don't work. So, well, I guess that's a bit better, but not by much. Oh, what? Hmm? Triggers fired constantly. The triggers sound like hardware issue. Maybe. The triggers sound like hardware issue. I'm not sure why that would be. And S730 Pro. I have a 730 Pro without Plus. I don't remember what's different about Plus 2. So yeah, and yeah, it's Sonic because what else would I use? Well, I mean, for SG1000 I can use like load runner. Though of course I mean it has demo. Ah, grips. I see. Yeah, yeah. I don't particularly like grips in general, so like I'm fine with just SNES form factor. Same as how I generally prefer just to use Joy-Cons without like switch grip. So anyway, this run, but for Gearsystem, for Game Gear, the video is completely broken. So this looks like wrong row stride, or let's check what's the screen rectangle, because it really doesn't look right to me. First of all, let's not get any rectangles. Let's just render the whole thing as is and see what happens. Because maybe it's centered, for example. How many Firefox tabs you have open? 3 pinned ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total. Now 7, now 6. I generally don't have... Well, okay, where's OBS? Where is YouTube? Okay. I do have accumulating tabs, but I regularly close them, so I don't allow them to proliferate. Huh. Ha ha ha. So the problem is that basically the row stride of the video changes depending on the rectangle. So I see. So for example, MGBA was using the whole frame buffer, but it was entering into a rectangle there, which we then cut off. But this one, it's basically rendering contiguous lines. So it's effectively using a different row stride. So we need to be able to support it dynamically. So let's do that, I guess. Which, I mean, I'm somehow at 57. I mean, I know a few people who have them in thousands. I have no idea if they're watching the stream or not, but like, if they are, I guess they will write something in the chat. Okay. No, this is the wrong person. This one. My tabs currently are Gearsystem website, which, you know, I have it open because I was pasting it into the thing, descriptor file. The tab with this video, with this stream, which I was using, wanted to use to monitor tabs. A YouTube Studio page, which I'm actually using to monitor tabs. My YouTube Studio at the list of videos, which I was using to delete the test recording, which I was using to test audio, and Gearsystem GitHub page. And the pinned tabs are Element, Fedi, and RetroSpring. So yeah, not that much. I have to. Well, I kind of wanted to end it 5 minutes ago, but I'm still not tired. So, and there are even more people here than when I said that. So I guess I'll keep going on. So yeah, good luck. So yeah, looks like I need dynamic roast right here. Actually, let's just check first that it's done, because I'm not exactly sure. Actually, maybe it has some option to render in a rectangle, because it's a bit annoying to have to do that. Right data, frame buffer, 24 bits, and 16 bits. Okay. Is it called in roast type? Because not everybody does. No. Maybe it's called pitch. Huh? What? That's wrong. Well, sad, because it means that it has to render it that way. How do I get this to work? I mean, I guess I can make a get roast right function. I'll probably need to unify these ones to like get video parameters or something, because I have get frame rate, get aspect ratio, get screen rect. They probably can be one, but for now let's just introduce another one. Int, well, size t. Yeah, size t. Highscore get roast type. Highscore. I'll also introduce a virtual function. Then I'll implement the color, aspect ratio, get screen rect. I'll base it on get aspect ratio, get roast height. Instead of double, it will be size t. And in here, everywhere it will be get roast right, get roast right. Then I'll remove the roast right parameter from here, because it's dynamic now. I'll also remove it from here. And from here. I'll check if it builds, which it doesn't, because, oh, what? Oh, yeah, no, it's just get roast right. And now request buffer conflicts with, presumably because, no. Oh, right. I forgot to change this. I don't like how Builder freezes. I hope it doesn't mean that I'm short on memory. No, I'm fine. Maybe build is close to crashing. I forgot that I usually leave periods in here. Well, worms are one of the reasons I'm currently using Firefox and not Epiphany, because YouTube in Epiphany is a recipe for disaster, which I really want to fix it, but unfortunately I really don't have knowledge for that. I have no idea why it consumes so much memory, but yeah. So okay, now that I've changed this, I need to change the previous two cores to do the same thing. So let's do that. Yeah, I did use Epiphany for everything previously, but yeah, it just got unbearable over time for YouTube, so now I use Firefox for that. And occasionally just use Firefox for everything. So, Highscore. Get screen rect, class, get all stride. GPA, or get all stride. Maybe I should have written all stride as a single word, but whatever. As I said, I'll make these 4 functions a single call later anyway. Start void, size t, not void. GPA. Get all stride. Also, I'm not sure how this happened. Okay. Actually, I don't know why, because I initially called this class HS core MGBA, but change it later. So here I'll get base video size. I hope I can pass null here. If not, we'll find out. Actually, let's check. Base video size. Because I don't want to end up with a video corruption. GP core base video size. Yeah, no, this one does not accept nulls. So I'll have to make a useless variable and eat a warning about unused variable. Right? And return width multiplied by bytes per pixel. Actually, using bytes per pixel. Oh, it's coming from MGB itself. That's fine. So we'll use this. And same thing in Nestopia. Nestopia core get stride. Good thing that this raw stride thing just popped out now and not like 5 cores later when I have to change all of them. So how was it defined here? It was this. What is byte perspex? Oh. Oh, I guess whatever. Okay, so, and I guess I could make the default implementation. Nah, no. I'll just define. I thought maybe I may make a default implementation based on the rectangle. No, but no. I'll just define it manually here because what if it's using weird pixel size something? Gearsystem. Highscore this time, not just core. Get all straight. Mm-hmm. So we have this and multiplied by this. No, yeah, it's fine. I wanted to get rid of this anyway, and this means that I forgot to get rid of the one in Nestopia. So I'll need to go back there, which I'll need to do anyway because I also forgot to commit in both Nestopia and MGBA. So we get rid of this. In MGBA, I think I already changed it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, the commit names in here are very good. But I will clean it up later because I haven't uploaded this yet. And in this one, yeah, I'll probably just fold it into a single commit anyway before uploading. Now I need to update dependencies, and in here I will need to request frame buffer to get rid of this austride. It froze again for a second, and I was worried. So instead, we'll just do it where austride is used. So 3 use in this function and 1 in... Wait, no. How am I supposed to... I guess I can just use width multiplied by... how was it? No, not HDK, leave Highscore. Yeah, get pixel size. Format, get pixel size. And in here I will do get offset. This is not great because I guess that's fine. I wanted to avoid having to upload text every time, use something like DMA buff, but with this I'm not sure I can. But for now I'm not doing it, so it's fine. Size T roast right is core get roast right. Yeah, I'm flip-flopping between using right as one word or 2 words, but so be it. Nestopia is taking a long time to build. But hopefully, what? Oh my god. Wait, I did commit it, didn't I? Git show. Yeah, I got rid of that parameter. On line 24, 245. Yeah, no, I got rid of this parameter. It's using old commit. No way. Unless, yeah, no, it's fine. I'll need to figure out at some point how to iterate on the Highscore without rebuilding every core. Like, so far it's still manageable, but once there are cores like Citra, the 3DS emulator, or Dolphin, the GameCube slash Wii one, those take forever to build. Like, they're probably like half the build time of nightly Highscore, and I'm not waiting half an hour every time I build it. So I guess I will be just commenting out most of the cores. Yeah, but in Highscore I dread every time I need to like either update dependencies or edit some error dependency. Like if I need to change, I don't know, there was a merge request recently replacing Desmu me, I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Yeah. I don't even remember how it's capitalized. This core with just non-2015 version, which I didn't go with because it kind of has pretty bad performance. But that merge request was a nightmare to test because it removes one of the earliest cores, and you have to build Dolphin. What's wrong with it? I don't understand because I removed that line. Like, it's not there. Desktop and Highscore, here we go. There's no row stride in here. And yet somehow it's thinking there is. Like, it's just using git source. But okay, let's just change it to directory for now. I have no idea why it fails. And with this source, I will probably be able to use Ccache as well. Oh, what? Wait. What was that error? What? There was an error with about some bracket, brace, and now it's just gone. I guess we'll see if it breaks again. Oh my god, I have 15 notifications from it. I set everything to mute, so it's just... Oh my god, a lot of replies. I'll check later. Waiting for something to build like that is the worst, and it still fails. Even though it's directory type source, it should not be failing. Like, there's no way. Is something cached in some weird way or something? Because like it is using Nestopia. Here's Nestopia. Here's the here's that file, line 245. It's pixel format. There's no raw style in this code, and yet here it says line 245 as that line that I already removed, and it's decidedly there. Where is that thing coming from? Like, what? Like maybe it's some weird cache. Let's restart builder. Because I don't know. What's... So I'll open just this. Why is it again git? I changed it to... Oh wait, no, I changed it back. Anyway, update dependencies. Because there is a bug. Sometimes it happens that you change a file, it shows as changed in builder, but it's not actually changed. Then you restart builder and it's as it was. Also, builder really gets confused by the fact I have two repositories named Highscore. And that's why I had wrong files open here. Is it updated? No? Okay, it's building Nestopia. Wait, no. I don't think it... I haven't seen that dialog in a while. Don't I have it? No, it's not here. That's the case. Yeah, it does. Then why is it controlling down? Maybe SDK has updated since then, and I just need to run flatpak update. I'm not running it now, and I just want to check if there are any updates. Lots and lots of URLs. Well, some of them are my fault. Yeah, whatever. I just ran flatpak update over today, and there are already more updates. It will be really funny if it fails again exactly the same way. Well, it wouldn't be funny, but like, it would just be weird. What? I mean, seriously. How the hell? Because it's direct. Okay, now it's directed. Now it's supposed to be. Yeah, this warning is not. Oh, finally I'm seeing this error again. Why wasn't it there last time? I don't know. 5061. So it was built in some older source, which I have no idea where it even got. Line 506. Yeah, because I forgot a semicolon. Is that it? If I change it back, well, if I commit it. Oh, I see. I see. I changed the branch. Because when I upload it to GitLab or GitHub, not sure yet, well, I don't want to upload the branch with name master, so I said I made Highscore branch, and I forgot to specify it here. But yeah. Actually, I think I might have a simple in GBA. No, it's not. I don't. Mm-hmm. Wow, it built finally. Now, more importantly, let's see if it works. Because who even knows at this point? I'll start by checking the previous platforms so that we know to check that I haven't broken anything. So let's start from FGS. It's there. And just to have fun. Yeah. Then yes. Game Boy. Should be 8. They all work. So now I can go back to Game Gear. And yeah, this doesn't look right. In fact, this looks completely broken. What? Oh, yeah, I know why. Because I, as part of the debugging, disabled the screen rectangle. So it was using the whole texture but with a smaller outside, which is obviously nonsense. A lot of assertions. I mean, yeah, one per frame. Like, I'm currently just making a new texture each frame, which is not great, but yeah, like, for now it's that. Having stable was already doing that, basically. So, each frame you get an assertion. And I just hit another builder bug, where the first time you build, and the second time you get this, and you have to hit rebuild. Yeah, sorry. I have no idea why this bug happens, but it's fairly annoying. So let's try this again. Whoa, it works. Well, Sonic, well, almost Sonic. Except much smaller. This is basically the same game as this one, just smaller because a bunch of, well, not entirely the same, but actually the first one might be completely the same. And no voice? Okay. Yeah. And yeah, save state, load state are not implemented. Okay. Next, we need input. Input involves yet another change in lib Highscore because I need to, well, yeah, as I already said, I need to define the oh my god, why is it freezing so much? The button enums. So HS. I guess I'll just call pastors. I'm just, none of this is consistent with these. Like, it's already a Famicom system here, FDS here, so whatever. Wait, it should be H. I'm not defining the actual interfaces yet. Only the enums. Actually, now let's go and define interface too. It's not that much work and I don't want to do it later. Master system, Game Boy, master system, and this has to be case sensitive. And yeah, I know the buttons are wrong. I'll finish defining the interface first. Just master system core.c. System and here as well. And now I need to copy this game gear core. No, our place finally. It's one of those cases where replacing something manually is almost faster than using find and replace. Just because there are so few instances that I need to replace. And here I'll use find and replace. Just because of the enum. And finally the same one for SG1000. I guess it would be consistent with other file names if I do this, even though I very much don't like this capitalization, but I guess so be it. Okay, now I need to add them all here. System and G1000. And now I also need to add them into 3 different places in Mizzen. First, the list of sources. Wait, what? Here. Also, did I screw up the... No, I didn't. I thought I placed it after yes again. Then I need to place them into list of headers, which I just use for installing. And the enum headers, because all of them contain enums. Now I need to do the actual enums for input. Let's start from SG1000. SG1000 has, well, let's just look up here. I mean, it has a D-pad, it has 2 face buttons, and it has start button. I think that's it, but let's recheck. I don't have that much personal interest in this system, so I don't remember offhand which buttons there are. It's probably in definitions too. Yeah, here we go. 1, 2, is it called 1, 2? Oh, indeed, it's called 1, 2. And in master system, it's called 1 and 2, and in SG1000. Because if it's called something different in here, I'll name it something different. That's part of the reason I'm doing separate apps, even though these three platforms have identical controls. Okay. How about this one? Oh, they are unlabeled. Of course they would be unlabeled. Oh my god, the Firefox back history is so bad. Okay, they are unlabeled, so I can name them however I want, which means I'll just go ahead and name them key 1 and key 2 for SG1000 as well. So we have up, down, left, right, 1, 2, and start. Now let's verify that it builds. It does not build because I made a typo in here. Except there are more errors, but we'll find out. Gear. Beautiful. There are so many ways I've mistyped this, well, this and Gearsystem today. Now let's hit up the dependencies, and now we need to map input. Map input is another thing in the current prototype that is rather crude. It's just this. This sucks, but yeah, once again, same as for this, I'll have something better later. Too early to think about that. So let's just, later I want to have separate control settings for each path, like OpenM does. Also, I forgot to change the path names. And I hope that this is valid, because what if it isn't? I mean, I can name them 1 and 2 as in like English words 1 and 2 then. But of course, to find out, I have to wait until it builds Nestopia. Yes, G1000. Okay. I'll have to rework this until it's too late. It's already like 70% of this file. I guess I'll just split them into like separate files, like a table. Or I can even still make an abstraction controller and only redefine them completely for platforms which don't map to anything like N64. Because most of these do map just fine. Well, I guess for SG1000 it's kind of debatable, because like SG-1000 Mark II is, yeah, like it has the same controller as Master System / Mark III, but the original one has this thing, which is closer to like what something like ColecoVision had, which does not map neatly onto the newer ones at all. Like these two buttons, one on each side, they are unlabeled, and this is, it's not even D-pad. And yep, it doesn't like it. Let's see if it's better with this, because Val often uses, yeah, it's fine, but I probably shouldn't leave. 1, 2, start. 1, 2. It's just the less full guns, the better. Now let's define the actual buttons. So the buttons are already in the same order as mine are. So I'm going to abuse that fact and not do any mapping. Instead, I'll just check what libretto does and do basically the same thing. Also serialize and unserialize. No, they're harder because I have to like read and write this into files manually. But still not able. Update input. Here we go. Yeah, so libretto does polling style and poll style input. So it has to do arguments like that. Meanwhile, I just have callbacks, so it's kind of easier for me. Since I just need to pass these callbacks. And so far, I'm finding out that this maps better onto what cores do. Like libretto has to do stuff like that everywhere. Pressed. What is the player thing? Players int GS joypads. Oh, I see. Let's it's personally just easier to do this. But yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's do mapping. It's not that much work. No. I just realized I have to 3 mappings for 3 systems in that case, and I don't want to do that. And let's rebuild it once again because I have implemented this in the meantime. Why did I build it again? It just oh, yeah, okay. I guess this, I could use that, do it for player 2, then doesn't matter. Yes, I meant GS, both uppercase. Not up large G and small s. Wait, why is button unused? Oh, okay. It's unused because I only implemented half of it. And the other one is key released. It's basically exactly the same except key released instead of key passed. And hopefully input works now. So let's try Sonic again. The small screen Sonic Game Gear version. So I pressed start button and nothing happened. So what's wrong? Wait, again. Button start from 0, not from 1, right? Wait, no. Let's add a print, because I don't know actually if they start from 0 or from 1. Yeah, right. It's not about buttons, it's just that I forgot that players in my own API start from 1 and not from 0. Maybe I should have made it start from 0. Because it's not the first time I forgot that. I don't remember which core, like either Nestlé or GBA, but it's not the first time. So let's try this again. Yeah, jump in Sonic, Sega. Very silent Sega. And start button works. Green hill. And there we go, Sonic. A lot less fancy one, and the outside tablet. A lot less fancy one than on Genesis. No. Ah, what? Good thing I had the power up on because, wow. Now it works. Well, let's slow down at the end. Now let's check if this happens with large screen Sonic 2. Oh, this one is not press that button. It's one of the other buttons. Which makes sense because on Master System that button was on the console itself. Oh, so this is the same game, just with much larger screen. I wonder if it will also go off screen. Yes, it will. Why? Oh. So I guess I wasn't supposed to fall into the spikes. What happened? Okay. And there's G1000. Let's try Wonder Boy because this conversion is absolutely terrible. No, nice palette. Push one, play start button. Oh my god. This sucks. Oh. Wait, is that... Wait. Oh, what? It hurt me. I thought those were stones. Good to know. No. Let's play this one before instead. And it has jump and... Yeah, it has jump and attack buttons reversed. Oh, okay, so stones hurt everywhere. How am I supposed to even get those fruits high above? And I jumped in the very same flame as in the another version. Whatever. I'm not very good at that game, as you can tell. Alright, so input works. So next, what time is it? I mean, at this point, I guess I might as well finish implementing because I only have reset and save states left. So let's start from reset. How do I reset ROM, I guess? I mean, and wait, why did I? Oh my god. It was supposed to be in here. And here I need to copy some stuff from another implementation from Dystopia. I already have read contents and write contents in here somewhere, so here's load contents. Also no idea why I used a manual unref here instead of like auto PTR. But I'll use auto PTR instead. Actually, I don't even need GR, I will just pass through this file. File is new file for provided path. Save state. Wait, no, it's load state. Yeah, I do check if it exists, so I don't need to check that here. So I'll just take the file. File I can even inline here because it's fairly short line. So I load file contents from this file into data. And put size here. With no cancelable and with error I just passed. If it's false, I've already passed the error through, so I just return false. And now I can do what libretto does. which is this. Once again, there's no error reporting, so I'll have to invent something. U8, you say? And same thing here, except it's save state. And the file, well, we still need data. Wait, now what? Save state. Yeah, it returns data. So now we have data, now we can write them to the file. Stop here. Replace contents file, data size null. File data size null. I can just copy this. False. Blah blah blah, null error. And at this point, yeah. That will automatically report errors, so I don't need to worry about it. But I still need gfile. And from here, button error. So, hopefully it works, but I suppose it won't. Also, yeah, I guess once it works, I'm finishing stream because it's been going on for 3 hours. That's already longer than planned, but yeah. U8, but it is already char. Well, it's unsigned char, but you know, at least it's the same size. Highscore has no member self-state. Yeah, correct, because it's softcore. Yeah, use parameters. Safe location, by the way, I need to check. I'm not sure. I don't think any of those platforms have any safe data. But maybe Game Gear does. But yeah, we'll see. Replace contents, data. You know what? Char data. Wait, but it's not const. Oh wait, no. It is const. It is very much const. Oh, yeah. It doesn't like this. Data and size are both. I'm passing pointers there, but they are not pointers. And finally load contents. I need is data. Let's make it char and cast it to, well, future here. It built. Though I see a warning, data is used and initialized. Wait. Save state. Okay, what does save state do? Because it might be a reference, or it might expect a pointer. Wait, no, not messed up here. Gearsystem. Save state. Wait, it expects OS stream? Or OS stream? O stream? Oh, I see. It has different ones. It has version for OS stream. O stream. Oh my god. I think I'll use that instead, because then I can just well, am I connected? Because my session just crashed. That was fun, but apparently I was able to reconnect. Wow. Well, I mean, good to know it works, but yikes. I guess it's telling me it's time to finish it, but I mean, I'm so close. Okay, my audio is actually, my mic is on. Looks like everything's okay. Wow. What the purpose I can do? Okay, I was going to use all streams for this. Well, it was done for more than that for me, because it's probably just because there was some latency in the stream itself. But yeah, like my whole session crashed and I had to log back in. You can see like text editor was trying, it's not anymore. And now it's saying that YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, which is also fun. I have no idea why. Maybe it's trying to like slow down the video a bit to like try to like smooth out that downtime. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, actually, let's run something where we will see a difference. A game. No, I can't until I fix this thing. So, okay. Oh my god. Yeah. The clipboard was lost. Maybe it crashed when I was trying to copy it or something. And of course I'm in this. If stream, all of this stuff goes away. I don't care about any of this anymore. Now I just pass the file here, except there's this case where I still have to import something. And same thing here, except, well, and I need to close it. I guess I need to close, maybe it does on its own, I'm not sure. Not in stop here. Gearsystem. Core, save state, index, path index, buffer. Oh, okay, it still needs size, though it returns the size, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't close anything and it returns the size, so I still need to have something. Just a bogus variable that I will throw away. How fun does it? By the way, YouTube is still showing the smooth streaming thing for me. So yeah, I'm finishing this up and ending the stream. It's time anyway. Except it didn't actually like it. Save state, it has size, and load state. Load state does okay. What's this? No relevant warnings, only missing parameters, unused parameters, which not much I can do about other than just add silence the warnings. So failed to load state. Of course it failed to load it because it's not doesn't exist. Wait, does it exist? I mean, it shouldn't, but let's see again. Yeah, this one does work. And reset. Reset works. So there's just that warning. Ah, no, it probably does exist. It's probably just corrupted after that. Let's see. Saves, game gear. What? It wrote the screenshots, but it didn't write the actual files. Are they in the... No. What the... Oh, never mind. I was checking Master System, not Game Gear. It's fine. Here they are. And if I check Game Gear, it will probably work too. Yeah. Sonic Hedgehog 2. Sega. Still Sega. Still Sega. It works. And if I restart it, it still works. And there's G1000. Let's start Ninja Princess. Sega. That's long Sega. Yeah. There we go. Let's restart it. Still works. Let's reset. Load state still works. So it's seamless. Oh yeah. Load runner. Load runner is actually playable now. And wow, it's so different from the NES one. Wait. Oh, I see. I made a mistake with controls. So the controller has button 1 on the left and not on the right, so it's the opposite of Nintendo. So what I was saying about Wonder Boy has reversed controls, that was my mistake. Wait. No. That was my mistake. This should have been the other way around. Well, at this point I might as well reset it. Oi! Yeah, I was a bit too fast, but yep, it's perfectly playable. So, there we go. Yeah. For comparison, the NES one it's in the home. For comparison, the NES port of Load Runner looks like this. Which is considerably slower, which is... yeah. But I still suck at it. At one point there was like a Lynx game clone for Load Runner at some point, I forgot how it's called. But yeah. I don't remember. But yeah, I was kinda good at that one, but original Load Runner not at all. So... yep, no G messages left. We implement everything. So, I guess that's it for this stream. Thank you all for coming. So, yeah, I'll finish it. See you later. How do I... okay, I can end it from OBS. Actually, no. From here.